Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. Recently someone suggested a build challenge that I actually cannot believe I haven't done. It's been a couple months, like before Enchanted by Nature came out, that we have glass walls. And you guys, I'm like so behind. I never did a build using them. So we're gonna try and catch back up. We're gonna build a house using only glass walls today. Now you may or may not be wondering why we are in Innisgreen, because typically when you picture a house with all glass walls, you would probably assume that it's going to be a modern build. But no, that is not the case today. I thought it might be kind of fun to try to make a whimsical castle, which could honestly be quite challenging. I'm not entirely sure how this is gonna go, but I am super excited to find out because this could turn out so beautiful if I execute it right. So just try to have faith in me while we try to figure this out. So already we've got a bit of a shape going. I usually use short wall height, but maybe we could put the bottom on medium wall height. We could do the top too so that we can add a lot of details to the outside. I'm considering manipulating the roof to make a more interesting shape to fit in with the fantasy vibes. And if you guys don't know how to do this, hold Shift C while clicking on a roof piece. Then you'll get some extra dots that allow you to manipulate the roof a little more than normal. I like that curve, it kind of looks like a mustache. I'm wondering how the glass walls are going to work with the interior walls. You know, like how you have issues with windows cutting into interior walls. Would that be an issue, or maybe not since they go tile by tile? Well, now that we have the general shape, let's go ahead and throw on these glass walls. Unfortunately, there is no white swatch, except for the Enchanted by Nature ones, but those ones are a little crazy. Oh my gosh. I definitely want the fancy one on the top. We could do this one on the bottom, or maybe a more simple one, because I do want to have a lot of detail on the bottom. Honestly, the decorations will help us decide which ones we use, so I'm gonna start there. I'm actually kind of leaning towards these Get Famous windows, because of course we are on medium wall height, so our options for windows are a little slimmer, but I feel like that could look really pretty and fancy. I still really wish we had an option for a white glass wall, because then we could have made it more pastel. I do kind of like this though, because we could make it more like planty, or maybe even a little gothic with darker colors. Oh, or like a pastel goth? Yeah, wait, that could turn out so cool. For the front, I kind of wanted to do something like this, using a spandrel to make it an entryway like without a door, and then if we wanted to just add some privacy, well, I guess either way you're not gonna have privacy. You got a full glass house, everybody can see you, but at least we could also have a door at the front. I actually might bring the really pretty glass wallpaper down to the front too, just to have a really pretty front area. What door is gonna work with this? There is the Get Famous door. It is kind of giving like celebrity vibes, but it like totally matches our glass with that S symbol. This one is also quite cool from Realm of Magic. I don't know though, surprisingly I am really liking the Get Famous one. We can obviously always change our mind and come back to it. Let's check out the glass roofing too. Oh wow, okay. It's definitely a lot having a more detailed one, so I'm thinking we just use the plain one. However, I do not love how you can see the roof going into the house. That seems like a bit of an oversight. It's okay though, I'm sure we can figure something out. Time to look at some freezes and some trims. Whoa, that's giving like Candyland vibes. But this one, on the other hand, is definitely fitting with our aesthetic. We could do the black and white, of course. I feel like the goth family would live here. I think I'm going to do a black roof trim. Ooh, let's get some roof decals. I'm trying out these life and death ones. I just don't know if I should do white or black. The black really blends in, whereas the white you can definitely see a little more. I do feel like that looks a little nicer. Alright, I gotta finish up on these windows, but first we should probably figure out the floor plan. Okay, this is just my first attempt. This space could maybe be a bathroom. There won't be too many glass walls looking into it. Maybe the kitchen could go over here. We can have a really small dining room, kind of breakfast nook. The living room, which is gonna be pretty big. Alright, upstairs, oh my gosh, it is so bright up here. Okay, and we have a funky little hallway, but over here we can have the main bedroom. I haven't decided which one yet, but one of these is going to be a bathroom and the other is going to be a nursery. And we can have like an office space in this hallway that leads out to the balcony. Sadly, I had to put out our candle. Apparently the scent was so strong, it was giving my mom a headache. It was raspberry tart. It smelled so good. Yes, raspberry tart, strawberry shortcake themed, I know. It's just too good. I'm actually thinking of using the Enchanted by Nature archways, because I know we are going kind of gothic, but like nature goth. I'm considering doing just like a brick foundation. I might actually do this horse ranch one. I'm using a lot of packs that I didn't expect to use for a build like this. Yeah, I thought we could use the Get Famous fence and railing. I don't really think that's our vibe. Are those llama heads? These base game ones, perhaps? You know what? I loved the idea of having a glass roof too, but there are just so many issues with it. I really do not like how you can see the walls. Technically, this is just the glass glass walls only challenge. We don't need to have a glass roof. Like, in my personal opinion, this looks so much better. Now for the exterior, all we really have to do is the landscaping, which I believe will really bring this house to life. I actually really like these purple plants from Vampire Debug, and of course we can combine it with some other plants too. I'm wondering if we can put some of this ivy around the house. It will provide some privacy since it's covering up the glass wall. Ooh yes, and these plants hanging down from the frieze, that so perfectly adds to our mystical vibes. Don't mind these random plants over here, I'm saving them for later, but I added a lot more foliage and oh my gosh, it is looking so cool. And we are not even done yet. So the reason that I have these random extra plants is because I wanted to create a little pond. I thought it would be nice to have those surrounding the pond. We'll get some little tadpoles swimming around in there and some dragonflies as well. We could even get another pond on the left. Okay, well I think we can say that we are successfully done with the exterior. This actually turned out a lot better than I expected. I love all the details. I really love the landscaping. But now let's finally move inside. As we move inside, I'm still gonna keep with that darker theme. We were also using a lot of dark green, a lot of purple. Oh my gosh, wait, I love this. That is such a pretty color. And since these walls are obviously glass, I feel like it's not too bad to have more of a detailed wallpaper. So like I had said, this area is going to be the kitchen. Ooh, maybe we use these dark green vampire counters. I don't often use black kitchen appliances, but if you can tell, these countertops are annoyingly not white. They're like a creamy off-white, but we have a lot of this cooler white tone, so neither of them were looking good for the appliances. But that's okay, I don't mind trying something a little new. We definitely need the Bella Goth milk carton, considering how I could see this house belonging to the Goth family. I know the kitchen is small, but I think it is a really cute space. We can't really get upper cabinets since the windows are in the way and it would probably look weird against the glass wall anyway, but we can get a little kitchen shelf. I'm wondering if we can also squeeze in a kitchen cabinet. I don't know, I'm not really finding one that is small enough in size. They are all pretty big. Well, we can get one over here instead. I think that fills up the space nicely. Maybe we can make our own shelving. Like that actually looks really nice. As I said, we need lots of plants, so you know I'm gonna be using my hanging plants. I almost forgot some railings on the stairs. That would have been bad. What are the ones we used outside? Does that look good inside, or maybe we should try a different one? Honestly, I think we should just only do the black. Also, yes, I know how ridiculous it is to have curtains when the walls are glass. Like, it doesn't matter the curtains you put on the windows. Either way, there's gonna be sunlight coming in because the sun is gonna come through your walls instead. But if I don't put it, then it just looks kind of bland. Yeah, well, I'm definitely liking this little area over here. Let's bring it back because I didn't even do the entryway. I got a little too excited and moved straight to the kitchen. I'm thinking this fuzzy rug is pretty good. You know, in those like really big fancy houses, they always put like a random end table in the middle of an entryway, and they usually have some sort of pretty plant on top of it. And then of course this is a perfect spot for our coat rack. We could even get Umbri the umbrella rack. You know, it's probably really important in a house like this with glass walls where you can just see right through is a burglar alarm. I know it's on the glass so the burglar can see it from outside, but maybe that is the perfect deterrent. Okay, well now let's move over here to the dining room where it's definitely pretty small. I had mentioned I wanted a breakfast nook, and obviously it's not going to be functional. I mean, the chairs will, but not the sofa, but I think it looks so good regardless of the functionality, so I definitely want to keep it. And you know, I wanted a kitchen hutch so badly. I might be able to put one over here against this wall. There is this one from Cottage Living. Oh, whoa! This one is from Life and Death. Obviously really fitting with that gothic aesthetic. There is no clutter placed into it, so let's fill it up. Something to go in this corner, maybe a lamp or a plant. I do love this lamp from Businesses and Hobbies. I wish there were some better, more neutral swatches, but the black one is perfect. I don't know if I should put curtains in this room because I do feel like it's a little overkill. Plus, it's really pretty and bright without them. I actually might place some things on this surface of the couch. I wish things slotted there, but it's okay. We can raise them up. I was worried the dining room would be too small, but it is actually perfect. It is so cozy. You know, I did want a lot of plants in here, and the space was looking a little plain, so we could totally put these plants hanging over the archway. Actually, I'm gonna bring them outside too. I think that's a nice touch and kind of brings in the purple that we see in the other plants. Okay, well now let's look at the living room. I think I'm definitely gonna continue with this wallpaper, but I know we obviously have a lot of it, so I'm going to match it with this plain black wall. Obviously, especially as we approach fall, we're going to need a cozy fireplace. I don't know if I want to go full Enchanted by Nature with this fireplace, but it does match really well. We do also have the Life and Death one. I may want to go with the black though, depending on if we have dark green sofas. This would have been been perfect if it came in the right color. I mean, it is actually really similar. It's just a little more turquoise. You know what? What about the Crystal Creations couches? They do look really nice. I love that color. I've kind of been doing a lot more darker builds recently. Normally, I'm all about the pastel. I don't know what's gone into me. Perhaps it's the fact that it's fall. Ooh, some creepy candles on the coffee table. Okay, looking at rugs, this one is actually pretty good. I know it's all distressed, but that's kind of why I like it. We can also take a look at some of the Life and Death carpets. Okay, hold up. This one has the perfect colors. I always forget about these curtains from Businesses and Hobbies because the first swatch is bright red, so it's a little jarring. I don't even look through the swatches. They should really get into the habit of adding curtain rods though, because there are none and I don't know how to make them look connected. When that is usually the case, I just take the Desert Luxe ones and I just put it above. See, it looks so much better connected. Wait a minute, I love this idea. I feel like sometimes in older scary movies, you always see an old creepy phone next to a lonely chair, and that's when the phone rings and you know something creepy is going on. Right here, I want a nice big bookshelf. Oh my gosh, these Life and Death ones, could they be any more perfect? That looks so good all against that wall. We can squeeze in a chess table. Ooh, and a telescope. I still have yet to find out if it works if you're inside but it's pointing out the window. I would assume it doesn't, but it's for the vibes, okay? Plus, your Sims are a lot safer using it inside rather than outside, unless you want them to get struck by a meteor. I wish I had matching chairs that I could slot to the chess table, but nothing is quite the same. I take that back, these are quite similar. Oh my gosh, you guys are probably laughing at me so hard. I completely forgot to add ceiling lights. It's so hard to tell because it's already so bright in here. Well, maybe we can get some chandeliers. I really like these cottage living ones. Phew, okay, good thing we remembered. I think the person who lives here would be really into vampire stuff, but maybe they're not vampires themselves. Maybe they want to be, or maybe they're just really fascinated by it. Oh my gosh, my jungle adventure mirror, she looks so good right there. Alright, well I added just some more clutter, and I think we can be done with our super cool living room. This house is turning out so cool, and it's really been testing my abilities, which I actually really enjoy. I know we have the bathroom down here, and we have our stair landing, but I really want to do a bedroom. Bedrooms are usually my favorite to do, which reminds me, make sure to let me know what your favorite room ends up being once you have seen all of them by the end of the video. That's like my favorite part of these challenges, so do not forget and make sure to see all the rooms first. So actually, before we move into the bedroom, you may notice we have a sim moved in. Our plants are all dead, but I did that because I want to change the lighting in here. Maybe more of a yellow tone is kind of fitting. And then for some lights, I might even add some color. Maybe not for the main space, but for the bedrooms. I always get suggestions to change the color of the lights. Obviously, it really does help with the vibes in a room. I just like never remember to do that because I don't usually have a sim in the house while I'm building. And I was thinking for the bed, this one from Enchanted by Nature. Now, in no way am I meaning for this to be a fairy's house, but this bed is perfect color scheme wise and also with the greenery. And of course, we're getting in loads of plants as well. Might want to scooch the door over just a little bit. Now, what rug should we do? I was thinking of looking at the Enchanted by Nature one. Oh, I didn't realize it was such an expensive rug. I'm not too sure about the color swatches. I kind of like this one, but even then, it's not really doing it for me, you know? Ooh, honestly, how about this one from Life and Death? I guess we should try to fit in some sort of dresser. I know it's a pretty small space, but I do like that about it because it's just comfy. And you know, I feel like having glass walls, usually windows make the room feel bigger. So we definitely want to make sure that we are still getting those cozy vibes across. Oh, you know, I love the cottage living vanity. Unfortunately, she is too big. This dresser from high school years actually matches perfectly with the color though. I am going to have a desk in the hallway, but I figured it might be more practical to have one in the parents' bedroom too. Maybe we could get a computer in here, but not in the hallway. The other bedroom is going to be a nursery, so it's not like they're gonna be needing the computer anyway. Oh my gosh, we need this little penguin. I know we have a very dark aesthetic going on, but I did mention earlier that we could do like a pastel goth, which I did not go that route. So actually, maybe we could save these for the nursery. We could do the nursery in pastel goth, which will in fact hurt my soul because I do not have the Storybook Nursery kit. I totally would just buy it right now, but I have to buy the new pack coming out. So let's not go too crazy here because I know if I start looking at the kits, I'm gonna want more than just one. Unfortunately, I do not have the best self-control when it comes to that. I did not end up putting curtains in the dining room, but should I do it in the bedroom? I know it is a lot, but you are definitely gonna want some curtains if you're sleeping in this room. Otherwise, you're gonna have a very rude awakening every morning. Okay, I would say we are almost done in here. Let me just get some artwork. And of course, we need to include the Realm of Magic paintings. Who would I be if I didn't include them in a build like this? I would not be very smart. art, that's for sure. And honestly, even some fairy lights. I'm getting the more yellow toned ones. Usually I just use the bright white one, but these are really fitting in here better. This is such a cozy room. However, I don't think I'm gonna add anything else. I think we've cluttered it up enough and I don't want to add too much. So now I really want to do the nursery, and let me fix this plant that is coming into the nursery. We do not like that. We'll move that outside. Oh my gosh, wait, we don't need this storybook nursery kit. I forgot there's like cribs and bassinets in Enchanted by Nature. Okay, that is super cute. I think I'm gonna do a room for an infant, not a newborn. I did mention I want there to be some pastels in here. It might be a little difficult finding a color scheme though. The green is okay. I wish we had a light purple. Oh, wait a minute. I think we're doing a change of plans. This is a beautiful color. Not so pastel, but I really want to use this swatch. We can get this vampire's lamp, which is basically the same color. I love when the game just works out like that. We'll get these gorgeous long curtains. Oh, we need a changing table somewhere. I always forget these little things. Unfortunately, there is not an Enchanted by Nature one. This one is kind of similar though. I might just move the door over and squeeze it over here. It's not black, but the purple matches. This wicker trash can is my favorite. I think it's so cute. However, probably not the best trash can to throw your diapers in. I can only imagine how disgusting it would get. We can get these cute little cubbies instead of an actual dresser. Oh, it looks like the stuffed animals do not slot to them, but potentially we could just raise them up to put them on there. There we go. That's pretty cute. The acorn light, of course, and its perfect colors. Let's see, can I squeeze a little chair in? We could do this chair from Paranormal. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. I am living for this room. I think we need a nice big plant in this corner. I always use this one, but I feel like it's kind of too modern. I swear I'm like never satisfied with the plants in this game. There is a select few that I like and always use, but then I just feel like I'm using them all the time and it gets a little repetitive. You know, if we do a rug like this, it's like a little on the brighter side, but it's still the right color scheme, and I feel like that lightens up the mood a bit. Like you can tell it's a kid's room. I mean, you could probably tell before because there is a crib and a changing table, but just in case it wasn't obvious already, I'm like looking at these creepy pictures for a baby's room. That is probably not a good idea. We don't want to scare the child. Maybe instead we can go with a butterfly painting and maybe a shelf. I think that would be good. We do have this one specifically for infants from Growing Together. I do like that. I usually use that in my nurseries. We can get some little toys. I really like the ones from Enchanted by Nature. I just might have to alt place them. Yeah, there we go. This is turning out super cute. Oh my gosh, I should have used this. This is from the new Forever Friends event. I think it's supposed to be imaginary friend themed. It's another version of the Blarfy, and it is free. This is actually just from logging into the game. I think with the other rewards you have to do a little bit of gameplay to get the items, but it shouldn't be too hard. I don't know, I haven't tried it yet, but if you have time, don't forget to do it because it is free content. And he is an interesting looking guy. He's pretty cute, a little scary but a little cute, kind of like the imaginary friends. When they showed the unicorn one in the gameplay trailer, like that actually terrified me. Like we are not supposed to have unicorn looking Sims in this game. I went ahead and added some fairy lights in here too, and I think we should be done in here. I love that nursery. That is gorgeous. Honestly, probably gonna end up being my favorite room of the house. So we used this wallpaper downstairs. I don't know if I should use it upstairs too because it is kind of a lot, unless we combine it with the matching plane swatch. Then maybe it's not too bad. Okay, we should get some more railing on the staircase. Don't want anyone tumbling down the stairs. I'm trying to figure out how to lay this out. I was thinking that the desk could maybe go right here. Let me see if your Sims actually have enough room to walk around that though, because I almost feel like that is not enough space. We may have to put it more in the hallway, and I think I might do a desk like this instead. Oh wait, or the life and death one. So this one is not gonna have a computer, but you know what I've never added or played with is the nature press. I'm not entirely sure if adults can use it. Like, is it only for kids? I'm not sure, but hopefully not. I'm gonna add it. It looks pretty cute. Not so sure about this plant. I've never used it. It's from For Rent. I'm just trying to use different plants. It's so hard. I know we have a big bookshelf downstairs, but I love the look of them, so I'm gonna have another one up here. And maybe a little sofa. I'm just not finding one that I like. We could just do black, but I feel like that's kind of boring. Did I already use my Jungle Adventure mirror in this build? I probably did, but you can never have too many Jungle Adventure mirrors. Oh, and we could even do the teal. See, the other time we used it, we did black, so it's fine. At least it's a little different. What if we get this like hanging over the mirror? Does that look cool or is that just weird? I think it's just weird. Did I already add a bonsai tree in this build? I don't think so. I feel like that would be a pretty good skill item. You know, whoever lives here, they love their greenery, they love their plants. I couldn't fit the infant playmat in the nursery, so I should probably put it in here. Oh, however, the colors, it's very different from what we've been using. Yeah, you know what? They can do tummy time without this, right? They can just do tummy time on the floor. Sorry, that is just not what I had in mind. It's just a hallway, so of course I don't want to add too much. However, I do feel like this space over here is just looking a little empty. Maybe we can get some blankets and some tennis shoes, and maybe something above the staircase would be helpful. You know, this creepy man that I was trying to use earlier. Maybe that's just an old family member or something. He was a paranormal investigator and a beloved flirt. Okay, well, I guess they have paranormal investigators in the family. My last build was actually pretty similar to that, so that's kind of funny. I guess we're getting in the Halloween spirit. And honestly, other than that, I think we're done. Maybe I'll just move this plant over here, and now we can be done. I am just really loving how the whole house is turning out. This has really been such a fun build, but now we are moving on to the last rooms, which are the bathrooms. And I think we should just start with the downstairs one. Also, you can't really tell in the daytime, but I made the lights in the parents' room a turquoise color, and in the nursery I did like a magenta, so that looks a lot cooler. Okay, I got sidetracked, but back to the bathrooms. Well, this tile could be perfect combined with this wallpaper, possibly. The bathroom upstairs is a lot bigger, so maybe we could just make this one a half bath. We can do this toilet because it's a little on the gothic side. This vampire's mirror kind of matches our toilet. We'll get a big curtain on this window because then it also kind of covers the glass wall. You know, we're just trying to maximize the amount of privacy. I would love living here just because of the decoration and the aesthetic, but I would also hate it because it's all glass. Imagine going to the guest bathroom and you just see these creepy posters on the wall. Alright, well, you know, just a simple little half bathroom. I think we can be done with this one. Let's move upstairs to do our very last bathroom, the very last room of the house. Like I said, this one is much bigger. I think we'll do a similar thing with the flooring, but I might use these black bricks instead of the tile. This will be nice with like a walk-in shower. This one is definitely a little fancier than the downstairs one. I feel like this mirror is super small. I like the style of it, but maybe we can find a bigger one. Ooh, like this life and death mirror. That is perfect. That's exactly what I'm looking for. I would like to get a plant in here as well, and like a little house plant next to it. We can get a couple robes on the wall. Oh, I wish there was a teal one that would like match this darker teal. That would be perfect. It's okay, we can go with the black, and let's get a toilet paper roll. Can't forget the toilet paper, although it is useless in this game. Wondering if I can fit some like candles on the tub. I don't know, they are kind of clipping a lot. You guys might find this weird, but sometimes I actually put it on the toilet because it always like fits perfectly right on top of there. We need a hand towel, maybe some soap. I forgot to put some downstairs, so they're gonna have to walk all the way up here to get the soap. And some like body wash. Oh, that's perfect. It has that turquoise on it, so it matches super well. This is a really nice bathroom. I am really liking it in here. I think we can be done. So yeah, there is our bathroom, and there is the final house. Our final reveal, building a house with only glass walls. Let me switch it back to the daytime real quick so you can see a little better. Like I said in the beginning, it's a lot easier to build a modern type of house with this, but making it kind of on the gothic side used a lot more creativity, and it just turned out so much better than I thought it was going to. And oh my gosh, it looks infinitely times better from Manage Worlds. So yeah, make sure you let me know what your favorite room ended up being. For my favorite room, oh my gosh, I don't even know. I just love the vibes throughout the whole house, but I would have to say either the living room, or I do really like the parents' room, but also the nursery. Oh my gosh, I don't know. It's too much of a hard decision. But if you guys are able to decide, make sure to let me know in the comments. Alright, well, here's our stunning glass house in all its glory. I really hope you enjoyed the build. I hope you enjoyed the video. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, or if you're new here, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night, and of course, I'll catch you in the next video. Bye!